Hi, this is Pat Ray from Pat's Prevention and Treatment Services. This is anger management. This is a Tuesday morning. So what I need for you to do first of all is to grab a piece of paper and print your first and last name on it. I've been receiving a lot of homework with no name, and if you are sending through email or text, I have no idea who it is. So please put your first and last name on it, today's date, the type of group, which is anger management. Also put how you are paying for your group. Is this cash? Is this card? Or is this going to be a check or money order? And I also need the topic of the group, which today we're just talking about anger management facts. And so we'll talk a little bit about how anger is something that everyone has. Everybody has it. It's not a good thing, a bad thing. It's an emotion. It comes, it goes. It does not have anything, it's not a fact. It is a feeling. Whether you're frustrated by something or you're hurt, you're lashing out, whatever it might be, all people have it. The problem comes in, and some of us have a problem in the way that we express it. We may not control our emotions well, and that can lead us to other problems. That can lead us to jail, loss of job, loss of relationship, hurt feelings, rifts between parents and children, between partners, and it is something that does not have to happen if we think it through. And that's what we're going to talk about today. First of all, I want to talk to you about when you become angry, there are certain things that go on in your body. And this is an early warning sign. These are your red flags that tell you that you are getting upset. One thing that happens, your blood pressure goes up, and it rises as a result of muscle tension. Headaches can happen. We sometimes call them tension headaches. Muscle tensing, teeth clenching, jaw tension, making fists, hormones levels increase, adrenaline and noradrenaline releases, the fight or flight instinctive survival mode kicks in, and you are at a heightened sense of reality, state of being. One of the things is we may have problems controlling our anger because we just simply don't know any techniques to do it. Anger, or the expression of anger, is sometimes a learned behavior. So if we grew up and we watched other people around us throwing fits, throwing things, stomping off, punching holes in the wall, cussing people out, throwing things, doing whatever, then we learn that that is how to express anger for some of us. Others may have said, whoa, I don't want to do that. But at any rate, keeping track of how you respond to anger. One of the things is that anger is actually rated on a scale. You don't start out being rageful, although you may feel like you went from 0 to 60 in a split second. Actually, things kind of build up and then we blow, no matter if it's at something absolutely opposite of what we were initially upset about. So it starts out with the lowest on the scale is irritation. It moves up to being annoyed. Then there's frustration, can't reach the goal, can't get the thing done. Then we get angry. Then it moves into very angry. And then finally we hit rage. So irritation, annoyance, frustration, anger, very angry, and rage. So knowing, first of all, that what our body's doing, that can give us an indicator. The second thing is when you feel irritated about something, that is the time to address it, to speak about it in a way that is respectful to yourself and others, that is not hurtful to yourself and others, whether that be mentally, verbally, emotionally, or however, because hurting others is not just punching them. Okay, it's much more than that. So number one, when you feel the irritation, you address it then. Or if you don't, if you miss that, and then you find that you're becoming annoyed, that is definitely the time. So you address it at those times rather than allowing it to move up the ladder. Okay, so when upset, we want to talk about thinking before you act. When upset, try to change the tone of your voice. I might tell you that since this whole thing has gone on, I have noticed that people are more likely to scream and holler on the phone than they are when they are standing in front of me. And I find that interesting, other than I'm thinking that it's possibly because when you remove the person and it's a voice on the phone, it's easier to lash out. But what I found is if I lower my tone, begin to talk slowly and softly, that eventually the other person also matches that. So we're working on that. Another thing is if you just take a deep breath, speak slowly, choose your words carefully. This is what I'm talking about. Taking time to react to something will allow yourself time to make better decisions. It's not easy. Nobody's perfect at it. But practice does make it better and more likely that you will be able to do that. The other thing is when you start to feel yourself getting upset, doing those relaxation techniques such as breathing, lowering your heart rate, calming yourself down, take a quick walk around the building, whatever it might be, counting to 10. I never do that, but some people find it works. The other thing is I'm going to talk myself out of anger. So if you wake up in the morning and you find yourself having grouchy conversations with yourself about everything, you know that it's you, it is not the world. So let us talk to ourselves. All of a sudden, someone says something to make you mad. You want to start yelling at the person, but stop. Step back either physically or mentally and think about why the person is upsetting you so much and ask yourself, if I start yelling, will that solve anything? And will the repercussions of my yelling get me into more trouble? Will it make the situation worse? Could be hard at first, but practicing that. I'm going to tell you honestly, in the moment, it's very hard for me to think like that. And you may say, I can't think like that either. But what I can do is know myself. When I start to raise my voice, I know that I'm upset. And that's time for me to take action, calming down, slowing my voice down, calming myself, speaking slowly and quietly. Sometimes I do it very well, other times I don't. But the goal is to continue to do the best we can every day to practice that when it occurs. And as I said, these phone calls that I get have given me a lot of practice lately. I noticed it right away when I started doing sessions like interviews, assessments over the phone, and people got irritated and frustrated and were more likely to express that in a negative way. So I'm learning every day to pay attention on the phone to the tone of the other person first. Okay? Don't allow yourself to become overwhelmed. Stress is the main cause of anger. If you find yourself stressed out all the time, it's going to be hard to control how you react to smaller problems in your life. Decrease stress by not letting yourself get overwhelmed. Solve issues as they come. Do not overlook your home. Do not overbook your home or work schedule, and learn to let go of disagreements, guilt, and worry. Now, during this time, I personally have experienced a lot of worry. What about you? Give me some feedback on your progress note today. What are some of the things that you are worrying about right now? And when you write them down, ask yourself by each one of those, is this in my control? If it is not, then we practice letting it go. There's nothing I can do about this now. Let it go, which is a whole nother class. And if I can, then what are the steps? What action steps can I take? How can I get it out of my head? Sometimes it's just simply writing down on a piece of paper what I'm worried about and what are the options that I have. What are the choices I can make? And I say options with an S and choices with an S because that's what we call brainstorming. And when you're brainstorming, you're putting down everything that comes to mind. And out of that, you may find an answer. Okay. If you know someone or something that is making it is upsetting to you, do your best to avoid it. It's not always possible, especially if you work with the person or it is your job in general. Sometimes you just need someone to kind of talk to about it. You don't want them to fix it. And you might tell them, please don't give me any solutions or advice. I just need to talk about this. Sometimes people can give you good suggestions. Are you willing to take them? Have you ever had a friend who constantly comes to you and asks for, help? What can I do? Blah, blah, blah. You give them a whole bunch of answers and they don't do any of them. Then they come back 2-3 days later, or a week later, same situation. You tell them again, they go away, they don't do anything. Well, after a while, you say, well, you're not going to listen to me anyway. Well, they don't really want your solutions. They want to talk about it. So don't get discouraged. Sometimes doing something physical, if you can, will help. Some people like to shoot baskets. Other people like to do, walking, running, some of those things. Right now, taking part in active sports is something that we are not doing because of where we're at today. Okay. The other thing is, if you're not eating well, if you're eating too much sugar, too much junk, you may not feel good physically. You might be more likely to feel depressed, frustrated, hostile, and angry. If you're not getting enough sleep, the same thing will happen. So you can control anxiety in many ways. Some people have found it helpful to seek out a doctor, get a really good physical, and make sure that it's nothing physically causing the anxiety, worry, tension, obsessive thinking patterns. And if it is not physical, they may find that some sorts of medication might take the edge off of that. Other people say, no, I don't want to do the meds. Well, then we've got to change the way we eat, sleep, act, exercise, and what we're putting in our brain. Are we upsetting ourselves with the news? Are we upsetting ourselves with situations that are not our business? Are we upsetting ourselves with things that are totally out of our control? If we continue to do that, our anxiety is going to be increased. Okay, we know that managing these things is a real challenge, and it can be very difficult to combine them in life, but practice is the key. Progress, not perfection. Do not expect perfect results because it just doesn't happen. So in the meantime, this is what we do. We pay attention to what we're thinking because certain thoughts will increase the likelihood that we get upset. It's not the situation, it's not the person, it's not the thing that is upsetting. What is upsetting is the way we think about the person, the situation, or the thing. So we are upsetting ourselves. So catch those thoughts. Pay attention to how your body feels. That's going to tell you if you're beginning to escalate. And then what do? You stop when you feel the body sensations, you feel the negative thoughts, you have that negative conversation in your head. You stop and think ahead. Think ahead. Do not go to jail. Do not lose the job. Do not hurt the one you love. And you be quiet. Close your mouth. Get space. Walk away. Go somewhere. Do something. Take a shower. Go outside. Shoot some baskets. Whatever. Call your mama. Whatever it might be. And calm down. Do what it takes to calm down. Do the breathing. Do the relaxation. Do the gratitude list. And you will then be better equipped to deal with whatever that negative situation was to begin with. Okay, so for today, I need you to write all your negative thoughts that lead to trouble. I need you to write those down. And then I want you to, by each one of them, write down what you are actually going to do to calm down. All righty. This is anger management. Hope you're having a great day. Hope I see some of you in the flesh at some point in the future. Thank you.